Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, you hear me?
Yes. Awesome. Thank you for
Cool.
being here, man. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
And so it's only been a couple months since the last time we saw you fight. Now that you went back, you've watched it, you studied it, all that good stuff. What are your takeaways from the fight with John Salter?
Um, I mean, there's always technical stuff you can work on after a fight, right? Like win or loss,
Mhm.
you're gonna find holes in your game and whatnot. But I think this last fight was more of a mental thing for me. A couple things happened before the fight that threw me off, and I just wasn't able to like mentally get back in the zone. So I think that's where I made the biggest adjustments.
And so, if you don't want to talk about it, I'm not going to ask about it, but has it been resolved now only a couple months later where you can look past it, your issues, whatever it may have been?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
So does that worry you at all that could be, a lingering factor moving forward at all, or, just focused on
Um,
what's in front of you?
Oh, well, let me explain the situation. So I fucked up my timing in the warm up room, and I was getting my hands wrapped, and they told me you're up next. So I wrapped my hands and warmed up for like 3 minutes, and then walked out. And it was just like
Mm.
it was super stressful. It felt very rushed, and then I could see that my coaches were kind of stressed about it too. So the whole like walking out process and everything was like it just got very fucked up. But my coach said to me after the fight, he's like, "You didn't get a warm up before the fight. The first round was your warm up. Like the next two rounds should have been better." So I don't plan for that to ever happen again. But I think I just realized that shit can go wrong. Shit can always go wrong, and you just got to stay like mentally engaged no matter what happens.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things that kind of goes underrated in MMA, just kind of having your routine, making sure that you're comfortable mentally because the physical job is already done beforehand. But just, regardless of how many times you do it, it's kind of a traumatic experience, to do that walk and go into that fight. And it doesn't really get talked about a lot.
No, man, exactly. Like you can feel like I had a great camp the last camp. I did everything I possibly could have. It was probably like a 12-week camp. Not that I really do in camp, out of camp, but like I trained my ass off specifically for this guy for like 12 weeks. Everything was good. Fight week was good. I didn't have any injuries or anything. And then yeah, that happens, and I go out there and I don't fight like myself, and I didn't fight how I was capable. And it sucks, but yeah, it's part of the sport, man, and that's still on me.
And so is that one of the, the main reason that you wanted to fight, 4 months after? Because, some people think after a loss like that, you take a couple more months, you make a couple changes.
I want to stay active always, man. I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a spring chicken in this game anymore. I'm 30 years old. I don't have 15 years left to doing this. I'm finally in one of the big promotions, so yeah, I just want to stay active, man, and do what I do. And we only get paid when we fight, so
And so when you take a loss like that, do you feel like anything needs to be changed to get that Bellator gold? There's just like we were talking about, just get back in there. You got the skills, just get the job done.
I think if I fight how I'm capable, I can beat any guy in this division. So
Mm-hmm.
like I said, after a win or a loss, you can always find things to improve on. And I'm in the gym every day, and there's always things like my coaches will nitpick me and find things that I can do better. So yeah, there's always room for improvement. But no, like I said, if I fight the way that I know I can, I think I can beat anyone.
And so you got Dalton Rosta coming up. I like to ask a two-parter question when it comes to, an intriguing matchup like this. The first one being what makes him dangerous as a fighter?
Probably his confidence, man. I don't like
Yeah.
you watch him fight. He's decent everywhere. Like he throws hard. His striking is um like crisp, I guess. Like he keeps his guards up and he moves well and whatever. Obviously he can wrestle a little bit, but I don't think he does anything like spectacular. He's not a specialist in any area. But he's undefeated and he's super confident and he's gonna fight like a guy that has confidence.
And so, every single fighter is different, but I feel like he's one of those guys who has a lot of exciting finishes, undefeated. So do you think he's a type of fighter where, every single minute that goes by, every single time you land a punch, you can just like chip away at that confidence?
For sure, yeah. I had someone ask me that in an interview a couple days ago. Actually, they said something about like making him doubt himself like
Mm-hmm.
quickly or something like that. But yeah, for sure. I think if I come out there in the first minute and I hurt him or I land a hard leg kick or I take him down or something, I think that gets in his head. And yeah, I think every second of the fight that he's losing, I think that's a very good thing for me. And I think that's gonna, yeah, like you said, chip away his confidence.
And so what makes him beatable outside of the fact that you have the skills to beat anyone in the division?
Like I said, I don't think he's a specialist anywhere. He hasn't really fought anyone that's put up much of a fight against him at all either. Like, he's kind of steamrolled all these guys. I don't think they were the highest level of competition. And even yet, some of them kind of gave him some troubles in certain spots. Like, he gets hit, he kind of gives up position and grappling. I think he slows down a bit. He likes to say he doesn't, but he likes to explode and then he takes long breaks. And I think after some of the grappling situations in his fights, you see him slow down. You see him start taking some deep breaths, start bouncing around a little bit and trying to like get his feet back under him. So I think there's a few areas I can exploit his weaknesses.
And so, of course, I know you're locked in on your upcoming fight, but just in general for the future, how do you see, your next couple fights playing out? Do you see, you win this, you get a number one contender fight, 2 wins? How do you think this plays out?
Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking smoke everyone for my next, all of my next fights. That's the plan.
And so, last question I have for you: do you think that you get the respect that you deserve overall from, the fans and just everybody?
I think MMA fans have like a short-term memory,
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much because I got fucking roasted online before the last fight for saying MMA fans fucking suck. They don't. The fans are awesome, and it's the only reason we get to do what we do. But no, they have a short-term memory. So I think after I beat Vanderford, everyone was like, "Oh, this guy's fucking sick. Like, he's the next best thing." And then I lose a shitty decision to Salter, and everyone's like, "Yo, this guy fucking sucks. He doesn't know how to wrestle." So I think it's going to be dependent on the fight all the time. Like, the best fighter in the world can have a bad fight, and everyone's going to roast him and say he doesn't have it anymore. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. It was like after the Vanderford win and the win in your Bellator debut, it was like, this guy's unstoppable. And then, you suffer one loss, and then it's like, oh no, we'll see moving forward. But
yeah, exactly.
I'm sure it could be frustrating.
We were wrong. He's not that good. Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's part of the sport, right? Like, as any athlete, you're going to get roasted by the fans, and if you want to be rich and famous, like, that's going to be more people watching you and roasting you online. So yeah, you just gotta roll with it, I guess.
And that's all I have for you today. Once again, man, I really appreciate your time, and I hope for all the best for you moving forward.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
You too.